Hello and welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and today I thought I'd do a little roundup of my winter decks. I think some people have done these videos so far, but I haven't watched any yet. So if somebody else started this, I haven't figured out who to tag yet, but I'll get around to that. And then I might see if anything pairs well together. I'm not sure, because I'm not sure if anything will, because some of them are a bit full of character, let's say, that might not leave room for other things. And pardon me, the reason I'm doing this today is because this deck came yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. Here's the front card. This is Le Tarot des Paysages intérieurs, or the Tarot of the Interior Landscapes. This is the card here. You can get it on Instagram. And it is beautiful. It doesn't come in a box or anything. It's made by just this one woman who produces them herself in France. So shipping was a bit of an adventure. But it is here at last, and just in time for winter. So I'll get the bag out of the way. And I don't usually keep things in bags, but I don't have a good box for this one. So I've just gone through the majors so far, so I'll probably try and keep it mostly in order because I haven't gone through everything else. But it is mostly landscape. Here, that'll be better. Mostly landscape sort of based. And I'm from Saskatchewan, which is Canadian prairies. So this looks very much like the prairies in the winter. I mean, occasionally there are trees, occasionally there are buildings. There's a lot of open space and a lot of open sky. And it can get quite gray in the winter. I mean, sunrises and sunsets can be very colorful, and the sky can also be very blue. But at certain moments, this is very much what it looks like. So when I saw this deck, I had to see if I could get it. And I'm very glad that it's arrived. It's quite minimal, but also quite evocative, I think. And as I said, I've only really looked closely at the majors so far, but yeah, really enjoying it. Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. I realize this style of art is maybe not for everybody, but I really enjoy it, and it reminds me very much of home. So that is, pardon me, deck number 1. What would winters be without a little cough? Not winter for me. All right. The next deck, and I've been using this a bit lately, is the Tarot of the Abyss. Oh, now that I'm zoomed in, I can't get the whole box in. Oh, there we go. Tarot of the Abyss by Anna Trian. Oh yeah, this was by Camille. What's her Instagram? I can't remember what her Instagram is, but I'll link it down below. Les Jardins des Clottes, I think, but I'll double check. So a lot of these decks that I'm using at the moment, or considering using for maybe the next few months, don't have a lot of color in them. And this one, I think, has no color anywhere. It's just black and white. Except my lights may be making it look a little warmer tone than it is there. Is that better? Oh, yeah, there we go. The shadows, maybe a bit warmer. Anyway, it's just a black and white sketched deck, and it's just so cool. It's beautiful, and she communicates so much with just line work. It's amazing. She really is an extraordinary artist, I think. And this is one of my favorites. It's, for me, a very fall winter sort of feel. And I've been enjoying that. This one I actually have been using a little bit. Not a lot, but it had trying to keep myself organized here. Doesn't always work. Another deck that I got just this year is the Somnia Tarot by Nicholas Bruno. And I haven't actually, have I used, yeah, I've used it a little bit. I mean, I've only had it, I think, for a couple of months, so I haven't used it a lot yet. Maybe that's the shadowy side. We should do that. There, that works better. Sorry, as I get myself sorted out here. Clearly, I am not a professional videographer, but oh well. It's muted. This is also very prairie landscape to me, with the big open skies and the sort of flat or flattish horizon. And it's got a cooler tones as well, even the fiery suits like this one. Still, it's a bit on the cooler side, which it finally is outside here. It's been unseasonably warm all winter so far, which is weird and a bit disconcerting, because we do get Chinook winds, which are warmer winds that blow in from, I think we have Oregon or thereabouts to thank for those. So those are lovely. But it is usually a bit colder and snowier here, so it's been snowing all day, which is great because we've had a bit of a drought the last couple of years. And we'll definitely need some snow. And this might be a bit overly dramatic, but let's see. The colors kind of look like they're, oh, now I'm getting them all out of order. Good job, me. I am totally on top of things and know what I'm doing. Is that total? That is not totally in the frame. Yes. Clearly this is not what I do for a living. This is just what I do for fun. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. I'll get my act together one of these days. Maybe. Or maybe not. Quite possibly not. Yeah, I'm okay with these together. If some people found it a bit too much, I could understand that, but I'm used to cold, dramatic weather, and this just seems like winter in Saskatchewan, except this water would be frozen. And they would be on the ice. But other than that, it's very, I don't know, I kind of like it. I might play with this a bit more this week. We shall see. Yeah, I think I might do that. All right. Next is what should I do next? I'll do this one. New Era Elements Tarot. This is I think both a combination or mashup of sorts of the Thoth and RWS. And I really like it. It's also not for everybody, which could probably be said of most of my winter decks, I suppose. video. It's getting dark already. I just finished work and it's already getting dark. How? I don't even understand how it does that. I could not live in somewhere further north where it gets dark even earlier, or just never gets light out. That would maybe be a bit much for me. But this is also not quite black and white, sepia and white, or sepia and, I don't know, close to white. I think her people are actual people, but she doesn't say in the guidebook, because I looked up the book that one of the women is holding and found a photograph that the artwork was based on. So one of these days I'm gonna look up, maybe do a reverse image search or something, and see if I can find the photos of these actual humans. That would be interesting. This is also, I guess maybe a bit cooler, not quite as cool as the other ones. I think this woman, this is an actual person with her actual book. But I can't remember her name, but she's Maori. Maori? I think that's how you say that. That is French with all the vowels all in a row. But maybe it's a touch warmer than those other ones. But there's definitely some harshness in this, some looking, straight on unflinchingly, I guess, at the things in life that aren't so pretty. And that's beautiful though. But I do think it's a beautiful deck. And well, yeah, there's the Dalai Lama, so that's obviously a real person. Well, the last. Anyway. Yeah, that's that one. I'm not sure I'd use it with any of the other ones I've shown so far. And I don't use it very often because it's very particular, but I enjoy it. This is another one that, surprisingly, I haven't used very often. This is the Wild Woman Oracle by Shan Zarate. And you'd think I'd have used this more often. I thought I'd use this more often. I don't dislike it. I actually quite like it. But for some reason that I couldn't explain to you or myself, I just don't use it very much. I don't know what that's about. But I'm thinking I might pull it out this winter and see what to do with it, maybe. Because I enjoy it. And I mean, you've got the goddess of winter in here, the Norse goddess of winter. And there are some cozy indoor moments while the snow is outside and all that sort of thing. Witch of the Winter Woods. So it's got some good winter scenes. And yeah, I don't really know why I don't use it as much as I thought I would, but perhaps I will rectify that this winter. Put the cards in the lid. Well, that's not going to work very well. Alright. These ones I don't tend to pair with anything, and everybody's seen them already. And I don't actually use them a lot, except when I'm working from home. I've got a little card holder. Actually, this little card holder with the moons in it that's black. Well, it's black because I painted it black because it was the worst stain color. And I won't show these, I don't think, because everybody's seen them 3 million times. But there are black and white, mostly with little bits of color, so I do find them a bit. I just tend to use them more in cooler weather. And I tend to use them together because they belong together in my mind, and why not? Alright. This is another deck that's like a winter possibility for me. And this is Our Tarot by Sarah Shipman. This is the mass market version. And I'm still working on getting to know it. I think one day this winter I had a thought mid-sentence and then none of my sentences were complete sentences, so that worked brilliantly. What I was trying to say is, I think sometime this winter, because this seems like a cozy up indoors sort of deck to me. I couldn't tell you why, but I think I will do like a card a day sort of thing, maybe in January, because I do need to learn who a lot of these people are. Like, these two I've heard of. I've got her little autobiography. It's not very long. I just haven't read it yet because time. And I've got a lot of books to read. But like her, I don't know. So I don't know really why she's on the Knight of Pentacles. But the people I do know really fit their choices, or her choices for which card they belong with. So I think that'll be a New Year project. This is so good. I love that one. And that's pretty good too. I like Mercury. Don't know who she is. So I think I will do a card a day and then read the guidebook entry and try and learn who some more of these rather extraordinary women are. So far, does anything else go with this one? I'm not really convinced that I'd use this with anything else at the moment. But maybe that's just because I've got this idea of doing a card a day to learn who's who in my head. So, you know, sometimes, oh, that's so good. Once you've got something in your head, you know, it might sort of impede other ideas, which might be what's happening with this one. But anyway, I do like this one. I edged it in a gold stamp, which I quite like. Matches the backs, which I know not everybody likes because the, what's the word? Not mass market. Indie. Good grief. The indie version had much more interesting backs, which is true. It did. I made the mistake of looking it up, but you can't get that anymore. Okay. What's next? That's wintry. Oh yeah. Can't leave this one out. This is the Death Doula. And this I got because Death Doula Oracle. I got this specifically. Let's see here. I might have to zoom out a bit to get the whole thing in. So it's quite long. The cards are quite a lot bigger than most. Specifically because Fairlight Tarot had paired this with the Interior Landscapes Tarot. And I saw them together and thought it was beautiful. Like this Omnia, perhaps maybe a bit intense for some people, but I really, really like it. Oh, and I'm getting them out of order again. Okay, didn't learn from my mistake 5 minutes ago. It's just, I've used this a little bit so far this winter because it arrived much earlier. It's from the US, I think, and I'm in Canada. And so it shipped here much more quickly than the Paysages intérieurs. I really can't pronounce the French R's properly. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. There are little bits of color in both that sort of, I mean, a bit more color in that one, that sort of complement each other a little bit. But there's some sort of, the quality of the energy, or if you associate any sort of, I don't know, spiritual energy, I guess, with any of these images. There's something that just kind of works for me. And yeah, I really enjoy them. Those don't go together quite the same, but this is a, if I was doing that tag that I just filmed the other day and forgot the name of already, that you only do with one deck gone wild, that's the tag. If I was doing that, this would be one of the cards that I would say is an outlier card, just for me, personally. But I've been really enjoying both collage decks and abstract decks right now. I don't know, there's something about the abstract artwork that you can just sort of sit with for a little while and not necessarily be sure, oh that's lovely, not necessarily be exactly sure of what's going on. Like, do I know 100% what's going on here? No, but I could read a lot into it. And that's, to me, quite interesting. Like, it's not so well defined as other tarots, where you can clearly see what's happening in both of these decks. In fact, you can't clearly see what's happening most of the time. But I think that's what makes it sort of interesting, because you can interpret the imagery in a lot of different ways. And they just, I don't know, like, to me, they talk to each other so well. And so I will definitely, these will be the two I keep up this week. And I'll spend more time with both of them, and that will be a lot of fun. Did I do, oh yeah, there we go. All right. I may also just do a little experiment here and see if I like these two together. So the Doula Oracle and the Somnia. And I think I do. I think these three all live in the same sort of world for me. That's interesting. Yep. Yeah, I may keep this one out as well. Probably, I think. All right. Now, what else was I going to show? I think that's quite wintry. This is a weirdly dramatic one. This is the Mythscapes, I think it's called. Shadow Myths. These are technically D&D cards. This case is terrible, but the cards are pretty cool, and you can get them in more traditional tarot size. They're very dramatic and very not messing around, so they're kind of brutal, which winter kind of is sometimes. So this might not be for you. Might not be for everybody, which is totally understandable. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with this yet, but I also saw this one on Fairlight Tarot's channel. She has some of the most interesting decks I've seen lately, and some interesting combinations too. Yeah, not a clue what I'm going to do with this, but like, that's fascinating. I love that image. This one's pretty cool too. Not really sure what's happening there. Yeah, see, like, that's a bit, maybe a bit too ugh for some people. So anyway, that's possibly enough of that for this video, but yeah, this seems like something I might use in the winter. I don't know. It was something I sort of wanted to try and see if I got on with it, and I haven't used it yet. So I'm not sure. And then the last one that I have been using last week actually is the Moonchild Tarot, the Shadow Edition. And I do find this a little bit wintry because it's cooler, shadowier. It's a bit livelier maybe than some of the other decks with a bit more light. Like this is clearly a winter landscape, but there's a bit more light in it. But it does make me feel like it's at least winter-ish. Maybe a bit-ish, but that's okay. So I've been using this a little bit. I just did the one deck Gone Wild with this one, just to get to know it, because I've only had it for about a month. And I haven't really used it a lot yet, only for a few things. Like, not much. This is not my favorite. Three of Swords, but oh well. I really like most of the other things. I love this card, the Queen of Wands. It's beautiful. So it's not quite dead of winter wintry. It's like maybe winter with a hint of spring. Not a bit of both. But she, like, that's a Scotty sort of goddess of winter image to me. But it's not entirely, like, you've got blooming flowers and things, so it's not entirely wintry, but it's ish. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Would I pair anything else together? Don't know. I might experiment with a couple things and see how disastrous it is. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Possibly. I don't know. Some of these decks are a bit hard for me to pair with other things because they're so very much like the only deck like this that I've got, you know. Like this is, I don't have any other decks that are like the Moonchild Tarot. I don't have it. This is my only Danielle Noel deck. So I'm not really sure what, if anything, to pair with it yet because it's so particular. And I'm just so not sure. So yeah, I don't know that it really suits any of the other wintry decks I have. Maybe when spring rolls around, I'll see what else I've got that might suit it better. What else? Sometime I want to find something that will pair with the Tarot of the Abyss. I haven't really used anything with it yet, though. I mean, I guess this is possible, but they don't really, I don't know. There's a little something there in the figures, but let's see. Try the Doula Oracle and see if that works any better. Okay, potentially. I mean, none of these art styles are really, aside from the Doula Oracle, the Interior Landscapes, and the Somnia, those three, I think, have art styles that sort of talk to each other. I don't think any of these other ones really do. That being said, the messages from these together are not terrible. So maybe I'll go explore. The Tarot of the Abyss is very much my, like, spirit of winter. Like if there was a version of the Cailleach that was local to where I live in Alberta, this would be the deck for her. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody but me, but that's what I'm going with. I don't dislike these two together. I mean, the art styles are extremely different, but I don't mind the messages together. Huh. Interesting. I might play with those. Okay. So I don't think that I have been wildly successful when it comes to finding pairs for any of these wintry decks today. But I have a good collection of wintry decks now, so I'm quite happy about that. And where did I put the box for this one? It has mysteriously vanished. Fantastic. Really don't know how I managed that. Everything's right in front of me. Nope, no idea. But I think the ones I'm going to keep out are the Death Doula Oracle, the Tarot of the Abyss, the Tarot de Paysages intérieurs, yeah, interior landscapes. I will keep practicing my French. I'll get there eventually. And the Somnia Tarot. I think those are going to be my December decks, I think. I mean, I say things like that, and then, you know, 3 days from now, I may think something completely different, so who knows. I may do a December wrap-up, and you'll see completely different decks. I can guarantee nothing. But these are the ones I'm thinking. I'm drawn to these, the artwork of these right now that it is finally winter here. I mean, winter weather proper. Yeah, I think that's all for today. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.